I don't know what you're supposed to do.
And then me. Okay.
And then what I'm wearing. Oh my gosh. Alright. No, don't start.
Okay. And here's me.
Don't forget the dogs apparently. Good evening. Before we begin, I just want to apologize for my lack of slacks. I did have surgery today, and this is the clothes that I went in with. It also explains the crutches as well. Anyway, so before I begin to describe the proper mechanics of a golf swing, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Joshua Gore, and I study history and political science at both the University of Tennessee and Volunteer State Community College. In high school, I was co-captain of my varsity golf team, and I've played for about 7 years. During this time, I've had minimal professional training, and I've had to teach myself these swings through trial and error and watching commentary of professional tournaments. Therefore, through my experience, I have come up with the 3 mechanics that any beginning golfer needs to learn. I'm going to begin with balance, for I believe it is the most important of the 3. Oh shoot. I forgot to describe what them. Alright. First, before we begin, let me apologize for wearing jeans instead of slacks. I did have surgery today, and these are the clothes I went in with, and I haven't been able to put anything else on yet, and that's also the reason for the crutches. Alright. Before I begin to explain the proper mechanics of a golf swing, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Joshua Gore, and I study history and political science at both the University of Tennessee and Volunteer State Community College. In high school, I was co-captain of my varsity golf team, and I have played for about 7 years. During this time, I had very little coaching and learned my swing through trial and error and watching professional commentary of tournaments. Through my experience, I have come up with the 3 most important mechanics for any beginning golfer. First and most important is balance. Second is transference of weight during the swing. And third is correct vertical and horizontal alignment in relation to the ball. I'm going to begin with balance, for I believe it is the most important. Okay. Balance is important because it determines whether or not a golfer will actually hit the ball. For example, if a golfer's balance is on the balls of their feet, when they swing through, the golfer will fall over during the shot. If the golfer is on their heels, when they follow through, the golfer will more likely fall backwards. I interviewed Braxton Wilson, who was captain of his varsity golf team in high school, and he had this to say about balance. First, a golfer's stance should be no wider than his shoulders. Any wider, he says, and in the follow-through swing, the golfer will be off balance and be unable to hit the ball. Secondly, a golfer's weight must be on the insides of the feet instead of on the outsides. A good drill that he told me to practice this was, while practice swinging, take a soccer ball or basketball and put it between your knees. If during the swing the ball falls out, then you are off balance. Will you stop?
Okay.
Before we begin, I would like to apologize for wearing jeans instead of slacks. I did have surgery today on my right ankle, and these are the clothes I went in, and I can't get out of them yet. So, good evening. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Joshua Gore, and I study history and political science at both the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and Volunteer State. I have played golf for 7 years, and I was co-captain of my high school varsity golf team. In this time, I have had minimal professional help, and I have learned my swing through a series of trial and error and watching professional commentary in tournaments. Using my experience, I have created 3 basic mechanics that any beginning golfer needs to know. In the order of importance, the first one is balance, the second one is correct transference of weight, and the third one is proper horizontal and vertical alignment in relation to the ball. I will start with balance, for I believe it is the most important of the 3. Balance is significant because if a player lacks proper balance, then they will not be able to hit the golf ball. For example, if a golfer's weight rests in the balls of their feet, in the follow-through swing, the golfer will be more likely to fall forward. Whereas if a golfer has their weight predominantly in the heels of their feet, through the follow-through swing, the golfer will fall backwards. I interviewed Braxton Wilson, who was captain of his varsity golf team in high school, and he had this to say about balance. First, a golfer's stance is one of the most important things that he learns. In the beginning stance, a golfer's feet must never be farther apart than his or her shoulders. Any farther apart, he says, and then the golfer runs the risk of being off balance in the follow-through swing. Secondly, a golfer's balance needs to be in the insides of his feet instead of the outside. A good drill he gave me to practice this was when you're taking practice swings, take a basketball or a soccer ball and put it between your knees. If in the follow-through swing the ball drops, then you are off balance. Finally, he stressed that balance is essential to the tempo of the swing. If a golfer feels like they are about to fall, a golfer will often swing